Happy Monday. It's July 27th, 2020, and most importantly, it's another day to be thankful to being on the right side of the ground. I look forward to enjoying this cup of coffee with you today. Welcome to today's episode of The Modern Believer, the podcast that reminds us that the good news is that there is good news. Huge thanks to everyone for sharing, subscribing, and leaving a review last week. Please continue to share with your loved ones, coworkers, and anyone else that you think would enjoy some good news every Monday and Friday. Also, follow on social for more good news throughout the week. On today's episode, we will be talking about an antique store in the Boston area that paid it forward for a customer, an amazing rewilding effort going on in the UK, and a former gang leader who is now redeeming himself in the Central Florida area. Before we begin, you may be wondering, Eddie, what or who is the Modern Believer? That's a great question. Here's my answer. The Modern Believer is you. It's our families, it's me, it's our communities. In a world with so many contrasting views, it seems that we're constantly bombarded with news that do the opposite of cheering us up. We can all agree on one thing, though, and that is that we all enjoy a positive story to get us through the day. It reminds us that there's humanity in the world. There's a lot of good going on, even if it may not always seem like it. The Modern Believer is an individual that knows change can happen. Let's begin. Play that piano. Sing and dance like nobody's watching. Play that instrument. Listen to your gut. This is what John Capron, who lives in Mattapan, a neighborhood in Boston, did. After asking the sales associate at a remarkable cleanouts and antique store in the area if he could play the piano, they said, yeah, sure. So he capitalized. He started playing Don't Stop Believing and captivated the crowd in the store immediately. The sales associate started filming it, not putting too much thought in it, and posted it on their Facebook wall. Fast forward, and strangers from all over are reaching out to the store asking, who is that masked man? Well, mask is like a COVID. And some people even offer to buy the piano for the stranger. It gets even better. John, who taught himself how to play the piano, has never owned a piano. So they tracked down John and brought him in to give him the piano for free, the one that he played on the video, which was a Whitney piano that they were selling for $200. Little did he know that the owner had different plans in store for him. The owner gave him a Steinway, which was valued at more than $3,000. Here's some words from the owner of the store, Mark Waters, as covered in the story by WCVB 5 ABC News of Boston.
It's just going to sit here. So if you can bring it into somebody else's life and bring it back to life, God bless America. You know what I mean? That's what life's about, Yeah. I mean, I wish I could do this every day. Come on, we could do this again tomorrow.
Much love, Mark. Zone, the size of Manchester. The conservation charity Rewilding Britain is another amazing example of people loving our planet. Within 3 years, they aim to support the rewilding of 300,000 acres in the UK, which is an area the size of Greater Manchester. The organization's network will be bringing together farmers, landowners, and community groups who are already in the rewilding effort. The motivation here is to halt the significant decrease of the UK wildlife. 56% of the species are in a downward trend for population count, and 15% are now being threatened with extinction. CEO of Rewilding Britain, Rebecca Wrigley, says it best. Rewilding is about letting nature do its thing and take care of itself, but it's also about people. People lie at the heart of rewilding. The Rewilding Network will be Britain's first learning and action network dedicated to supporting people who want to put rewilding into practice. Listen, y'all, there are many ways we can do our part. It may not seem like much, but the average person in the U.S. produces 4.5 pounds of trash a day. I'm not perfect, and I know I can be a lot better. Reusable bags are a great way to start in reducing our trash count. And most importantly, reusing a water bottle. No one needs to go through 6-7 water bottles if we're all quarantining at home right now. Let's be a little bit better about that, everyone. Fun fact, which is not super fun, 1.5 billion with a B plastic bottles are used every day in the world. Change takes time. It's not only our Earth. Let's make future generations proud that we started a positive movement. Redemption story. Ruben Saldana in Orlando is the man behind Roo Camp. A former gang leader turned coach after serving a 20-year sentence is now redeeming himself by propelling at-risk kids to their full potential. He does this by hosting a boxing camp where he also teaches MMA out of his home for 6 years. He's been doing this for 6 years, and most importantly, completely for free. He implores that kids put down their guns and weapons and put their gloves up instead. He trains the kids that come to his camp to compete and qualify for the United States Fight League. Here are some words from Ruben as shared in the story that Spectrum News 13 covered here in Central Florida.
My passion is to redeem myself for the terror that I used to be in the communities, right? So I have to, in my heart, God has told me, your path is to do this, to give back.
Since he's doing this out of his own backyard, weather is often a factor down here in Central Florida. His dream is actually to get a physical space and, with the help of local sponsors, help at-risk kids reach their full potential. Thanks, Ruben. Let's take a few seconds to be grateful. I want you to think of one thing, just one thing that you're grateful for today. If you think of more than one thing, that's great too. Let's just focus on at least one for now. Today, I'm thankful for the opportunity to have opportunity. Look at the world. There's so many things going on, and just like I said and say every episode in the beginning, it seems we're constantly bombarded with news that do the opposite of cheering us up. So just look at your current situation, and there are billions of people that don't have an opportunity to have an opportunity, right? So just be grateful, and I know it's easier said than done, but all working together and having a positive mindset can really go a long way. In addition to that, I'm also grateful for all the Cenas and Jillians out there. Happy birthday to you both. The world became a better place when you were born. Today's quote of the day is by Douglas MacArthur. Age wrinkles the body, quitting wrinkles the soul. Going back to what I was just talking about, having the opportunity to propel yourself forward. And ultimately, again, those dominoes will start falling. Does it take longer for some? Absolutely. But the best thing is you got to enjoy your journey. We're all here on the same earth, same spot, but we all just have a different timeline. So don't rush yourself, right? Keep going and let every day's small and big successes compound onto one another. Though we can keep talking for hours and hours about the good and great things going on in the world today, you need to go about your day. Fly. Be free. But before you go, please continue to reach out. Loved all the DMs, tags, and posts and emails this week. This will all go to the Good News Vault eventually. Also, please continue to share and leave feedback in the form of a review, download, and follow. What cool stuff is going on in your community? What cool stuff's going on in your company? What do you want to hear about next? Ultimately, you are the one that's taking some time out of your day to join me and all the other modern believers out there. If you want good news shared, please post it and use the hashtag good news is the good news. I want to thank you for your time and remind you that I love you. I am immensely proud of you no matter where you are in life. You have a friend in me. Remember, we are human. It's important to feel. We all have days that we wake up and we're either in a good mood or in a bad mood. The days that we are in a bad mood, it's important to take a step back and look around for things to be grateful for. Just one could really, really change your perspective immediately. Just because the day starts like this doesn't mean it has to end like that, right? Smile. You are breathing. You're already winning in one big major way. However, if it does end that same exact way, I want you to know it's okay. The sun will rise again tomorrow. When we do wake up in a good mood, it's important for us to put that love back into the universe. A simple way I like to do it is when someone asks me how I'm doing, I say, instead of saying, okay, good, or well, I say, great. I try to have a genuine conversation with a random stranger. Another day on the right side of the ground, right? Then I ask about their day. You never know when the random people that we encounter in our lives were asked the last time how they're doing. We don't know what they're going through. Family issues, financial issues, I don't know, right? But whether it's a cashier, store clerk, or someone handing you your food, or any other random person we encounter in this life, just by being remotely positive towards them, we can completely change their day, potentially life for a little bit. It's up to us as a community for us to put that love back into the universe. That smile you give, uplifting attitude may change their day. And maybe, just maybe, thanks to the love that you give them, they start spreading that love onto others. And then we build a beautiful chain reaction of love. Stay blessed and keep fighting the good fight. Thanks for joining today's episode of The Modern Believer, the podcast that reminds us that the good news is that there is good news. Make it a great day.